Vox and Val had an interesting relationship. They both liked each other, but they never were more than just friends having fun. And that's all they ever were gonna be, honestly. The business didn't let them be more. I mean, sure, they could date, but that would complicate things. Besides, they were both happy the way things are. At least that's what Val thought. Vox, on the other hand, was extremely jealous. One day, Val would be flipping out because Angel went to the hotel. As he started to yell and curse, and Vox would say, "I wish you flipped out like that when I was gone." Val would say, "What? Nothing. Just, we don't want people to think you can't control your clients, so just let them stay there, alright?" He would sigh and start to walk off. This was different. Usually Vox said whatever it took to calm Val down. But this time, he just straight up said that he wished he cared for him enough to act like this when he was gone. Val didn't know what to do. After all, they were just playmates, nothing more. As Vox walked off, Val started to think. Val thought about the world. He thought about what was around him, and he thought about what to do. He didn't think Vox cared about him like that. And well, he shouldn't care. After all, he likes to have fun with people. He should just get over it. After all, people shouldn't be able to leave Val, but Val should be able to leave them because, well, he's Val. He gives people time and effort for money. He's the best, but something was telling him otherwise. Something was telling him that maybe he should talk to Vox, but he didn't really know what to do, so he decided to ignore it for a few days. A few days would pass and everything would continue, but Vox and Val would start to talk to each other less and less. Vox was extremely jealous of Angel, and Val felt bad for Vox, but he didn't want to admit it because he didn't want to appear weak. So they just stopped talking to each other altogether. Until one day, they were called to a meeting by Velvet. Velvet would look at both of them. I always got funny pictures and videos, and shipping you guys together were fun. But now, come on, this is going to affect business. You guys aren't even talking to each other anymore. What the heck is up with that? Vox would say, "I don't want to effing talk to this guy." Val would say, "Yeah, he's so self-centered." Vox would say, "Did that just leave your mouth? You honestly have all this great time with me, then you just treat Angel like he's your most prized possession, like nothing else could ever compare to him, like no one is anything compared to Angel." Val looked and said, "Oh my, you're jealous." Vox would say, "No, I'm not. It's just..." Vox would blush. Val would say, "Do you..." Both of them would realize that Vox cares for Val, and Val would realize he cares for Vox too, but these two were stubborn. It's not like they would just date right now. They both didn't know what to say, as they simply stared at each other. As Vox said, "How come you always freak out when Angel's gone, but you don't care when I'm gone? How come all you talk about is Angel?" Val would say, "Because he's my biggest money maker." "It's more than just money." "Well, he's fun to play with, but you're fun to play with too. Come on, let's just play with each other like we used to," Val would say as he started to flirt with Vox, but Vox would simply walk away. As Val would hold out his hand, he was confused. Why didn't that work? Usually when he sweet talks Vox like that, it works easily. As Val didn't know what to do, he kept thinking. As Velvet said, "Wow, that went terribly. Can't you two talk? You both clearly care about each other." Val would say, "Shut up. I don't care about that TV head and what he has to say." Val would say, "Yes, you do. Just admit it. Stop being stubborn. You're gonna ruin your relationship, and worse, ruin our business. We have a business to run. So stop being babies and go back to effing each other, or be together, or something." Val then realized that was it. If he just F Vox again, everything could go back to normal. Everything could be like it was. So that's what he did. Val got dressed up. He got ready. He made sure he looked good. As the next day, he knocked on Vox's door. Vox opened it and said, "Hello? We got off on the wrong foot. Why don't we have some fun?" Vox would say, "I'm not interested in..." Val would say, "Please, pretty please." Vox would sigh, "Fine." Vox would pull Val into his room as they would share a night of fun, but this fun was different. This fun had different feelings, different emotions. This one, at time, it felt like it was more. Usually it's just a fun time. Usually it's just them trying to have fun with each other, but this felt like a love. It felt romantic. It felt like it meant something. It felt like it had to mean something. And it felt like that for both Vox and Val. However, only one of them would admit that. As the next day came, Vox was cuddling Val as Val got up. I should go get to work, Vox would say, but I need aftercare. Aftercare? You mean that nonsense where I care for you after we're done having a good time? No. Vox would get up, as even though he was stronger than Val, Val hurt him. Val hurt his emotions more than anything. As Val walked out the door, Vox simply lay down and cried. He couldn't believe he did this to himself. Sure, we knew Val was selfish, but he was selfish too, and he thought he cared about him, but that was the one good trait he thought he had, but he didn't. Val has no good traits. Vox sees that now. As he got up, he looked around. As he went to Val's studio to confront him about it, no one was there. It was all... Vox simply sighed and sat down. As he was confused, today should have been a big filming day. Where was Val? Where was all the actors? He thought. Did he drove him away? Did Val run away? He wouldn't give up all this money just so we didn't have to see him, would he? I guess he did. He was so disgusting, so repulsive that even Val wouldn't accept him, and Val ran away. Vox would sigh even more sad, but then he would hear a voice. It was Val's, as he said, "How about this for aftercare?" As Vox looked, it was a cake of Vox's face. "You made this?" "I did it all myself," Val would say as he put it down. "Listen, I do care for you, Vox, and I want to have something with you, if you'll let me." As Vox would say yes, as they kissed and cuddled. They didn't just have fun with each other like they used to now. This time it meant something. This time they were together. This time they could be more than just friends with fun things to do. As they started to cuddle, as they started to hold one another, it felt so nice. They felt so warm. They felt so happy. This is what they wanted all along. Val could never admit this to himself, but Vox admitted it quite a while ago, that they wanted this. They needed this. They needed a partner. They needed to just not fool around. Of course, fooling around is fun, and there's nothing wrong with it, but this is what they needed, and this is what makes them happy. But suddenly, they would hear laughter. As they turned around, it was Velvet. Velvet would simply laugh. "Aw, how cute! The two little boys are getting along." Vox and Val would say, What are you talking about?" She would laugh, but Val would say, "Who cares if she knows? Who cares if the world knows? I'm with you, and that's all that matters. And you know how you were jealous over Angel?" Vox would say, I don't know about jealous," he would say, blushing. "Well, I have an idea. What if you have fun with him instead while I watch, and you make me jealous?" As then Vox would say, "Deal." Vox and Val would have fun together, and they would have fun with other people. That's just how their relationship works. It may have not been monogamous, but they were happy. And, well, it worked quite well for them, after all. It wasn't like they were poly or anything. They just liked to have fun with other people. They were together, and they had fun with people, and that's all that mattered to them. And as the days passed, they got closer and closer and closer. As Vox and Val felt like they were soulmates. Every day, every second together was amazing. Sure, they had fights. Sure, they had problems. What couple doesn't? But it felt like true love. Love that could last forever. As days turned into weeks, weeks turned into months, and months turned into years, until one day, Val was walking down as Vox got on one knee and pulled out a ring. Vox took a second to think about this, as he thought about everything that led him here. As Vox said, "Don't worry, you could still have fun with people if you marry me," Val would laugh and say, "Good." Then it's a yes. As they laughed, they kissed each other and held hands. As then they got married. As they felt so close, they felt so loved, and they felt like they could settle down together. As it was amazing. Their lives only got better as time went on. There was nothing they could do except be happy. As the marriage was amazing, their life was amazing. Sure, they had problems. Sure, they had fights. And sure, they were psychopaths who enjoyed other people's pain. But They loved each other, and that's all that mattered to them. I hope you enjoyed this video. I know I did. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you want to, donate a little. Hit the thanks button. You don't have to, but I would really appreciate it. And thank you all so much for being part of my fandom. Thank you all so much for supporting me. Soon it's going to be the 4th of July. You know, maybe I know some of you aren't American. My second most watched are from the UK. The UK, what's it like? I've heard a lot of good. I've heard a lot of bad. But generally, I just want to know, what's it like to be in the UK? How would you rate it if you were in the UK or ever visited the UK? How would you rate it? Do you think it's a good country? Do you think it's a bad country? I mean, no matter how they're doing, they can't be doing any worse than us, especially during this election. Alright, I shouldn't get political. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm not gonna get political on this video, because I don't want the comments to turn into a mess. But yeah, I'm just gonna say this. I am so glad I have people who support me. I am so glad I have people who watch these videos. And I'm so glad I found the has-been fandom. Being a Dragon Ball channel was fun and all, but I've transitioned, and honestly, I'm happy. I get more views, I get more people, and I get to write more romance stories. And Dragon Ball, it's a great story. I love Dragon Ball, but a lot of it's just fight, 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 you know? And I added a lot more to it with dark stories and things like that. But honestly, the fact that YouTube censors me more since I got monetized, I kind of have to be more tamed. So writing romance is just way easier for me now, and it's really fun. It's a lot more fun than just making a dark story, in my opinion, at least. But I still like dark stories. Should I make another creepypasta? I've only made 2 creepypastas on this channel, and I really enjoyed both of them. And if you don't know what they are, there should be a creepypasta playlist on my channel that you can find. So yeah, go look for that. Anyway, love you all. And I'm thinking about getting a Discord of 5,000 subscribers, but I don't know. I don't know how many people would join. Should I get a Discord? Should I not get a Discord? Let me know in comments below. Love you all. Peace out.